Hi everyone, how are you? It's Simon here. Sorry for the frog in my throat. It is 8 o'clock in the morning here in Sydney and I was out last night on the town. It was quite exciting. Now, hi, welcome to our little chord video this morning. Hi Michael, hi Kerry. Kerry is in Mexico today. Woo! That sounds like a fun time. Okay, we're going to kick it straight off. I had promised a chord class today. It's going to be really straightforward and you don't need to worry about it. It's actually going to be pretty straightforward. You don't need crazy skills. You need to be able to count to 8. So if you can count to 8, you too can do chord theory. I've got a high quality marker here and I've got my board. Now, what the first thing you're going to do is, and I agree Michael, 8 o'clock is a bit more civilized than 7 o'clock. What we're going to do first is across the top of your piece of paper, you are going to write the numbers 1 to 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, you can see that. Now, how all chords are worked out, everything is based off the major scale. So the first thing we need to do is know the notes of a major scale, and I reckon you probably know that already. The notes in C major, the scale of C major, are, drum roll, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and back round to C. Now the first thing up is that's why this is called an octave. All right? It's because they're 8 notes apart. I'm just going to do something clever here. Let's just go that way and get a bit more of the board in. Okay. So it's an octave. Now every single chord has a formula. And so basically if you learn all these formulas, you'll be able to make any chord you like. And it follows that then if you know every single major scale, then you'll be able to make every single chord. So you can kind of reverse engineer the chords. Okay? So the most simple of all the chords is a major chord. Right? Would you agree? So the formula, if you like, for a major chord is 1, 3, and 5. Okay, so what notes do we need to make a C major chord? Have you got any answers in here? It's not super complicated. We're going to need a C. That's the first one. We are going to need an E. And we are going to need a G. And when you see one of those bad boys, let's see how good my straight line drawing is. This is a C, this is an E, this is a G, this is a C, and that is an E. Right? It's pretty straightforward. Would you agree? Let me get my wipes. So, that is how you make a C major chord. So then it follows that every single chord has a formula. All right? So, let's go again. I tried to set up the iPad for this, but the technology was too great for me, I'm afraid. Okay. All right. So, other chords. What's the other kind of chord you play all the time? That's right, a minor chord. So minor is, I'm going to need a dryer because that is a bit wet. What are we going to do here? I should have prepped this maybe. But a minor chord is 1, a minor third, and a 5th. So what's a minor third? A minor third is a semitone lower than a major third. So to play a C minor, what notes do we need? We need a C, we need an E, flat, we make it a semitone lower, and we make a G. So the notes in a C minor are C, E, and G. Are we all on board? Can I have some comments to show me that you're on board with this this high-tech music theory? Okay? All right. So whilst I wait for your comments to tell me that you understand that, let's talk about the major scale. So, the wonder of the major scale is that there are rules around it that never, ever, ever change, right? This is not like French or German where they have irregular verbs. Kerry's got a thumbs up. I like the thumbs up. Michael's got a thumbs up. I love that. Who else has got a thumbs up? Who else is in here? Somebody else watching? The thing about the major scale is that the gaps between the notes, or the intervals, impress your friends at dinner parties, are consistent, always, right? So, between, multicolour, between, oh my gosh, I better switch that off, between a C and a D, how far is that in terms of semitones from C to D? So you know your alphabet, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, and so on and so forth. So there's a C sharp in the middle to D. So that is a tone away. They are a tone away from each other. Great, 2 semitones, very good. 2 semitones equals a tone, because semi, yeah, get that? And then the distance between D and E. Yeah, D, D sharp, E. Tone. Then the distance between E and F. Now, the easy way to remember this thing with the alphabet is that there's no sharp between E and F, and there's no sharp between B and C. I mean, when we get into the weeds of music theory, you can have E sharp and stuff, but just for our purposes, disclaimer, before the Guitar Teachers Union takes me away. Yeah, Vera Drama, bingo. I love that. So semitone. And then between F and G. What is it, folks? It is F sharp, G. A tone. And then between G and A. Tone. Between A and B. It's a tone. Between B and C. It is no B sharp. Semitone. Now, this tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone is something which is really easy to remember. You need to remember this, right? Partner's birthday, kids' birthdays, tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. I think 3 things you need to remember. I reckon that probably should cover you, all right? Now, the reason that's important is that, now I've made a smudge, we can work out any key, right? By knowing that pattern. So let's pick a different key. This was going so well, and they're all a bit smudgy. Okay, so let me get a dry wipe instead of this wet wipe. So we're going to do the key of, I'll let you, somebody should say what key we're going to do. Don't pick something crazy like E flat. Don't scare everybody. What key are we going to do? What key are we going to do? Somebody come up with a suggestion yet? Come on, class. I feel like a real teacher today. G, Michael Ray, firing it up. Okay. So, let's do G. So, the first note in the key of G, take a wild guess what it is. It is G. Okay, so with our newfound music theory knowledge, tone, tone, semitone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. What is the second note of G major? It is G sharp, A. Pa, ba, da, ba. And then a tone away from A sharp. It's B. Okay, now, tricky one. Remember, there's no B sharp in our simple theory world. So, semitone away is C. Then, a tone away from C is, yes folks, you've got it right. I know you've got it right, D. A tone away from D is E. Now, here we go. A tone away from E. Well, hang on. I remember he said no sharp between E and F or B and C. That's another thing you can remember. No sharp, flat, B to C, E to F. Okay? That's the first thing. Right, so let's put number 2 there. That's the second thing I want you to remember. Number 1 is this tone, tone, semitone, tone, tone, semitone thing. Okay, so E, semitone up from E is F. Semitone up from F is, drum roll, F sharp. And then a semitone, yes, well done Vera Drama. I am liking your skills. G. All right, so that's G major. So, now that we know the notes in G major, what are the notes in a G major chord? Remembering our rule, we need the first, the third, and the fifth of the key to make the chord. So, friends, what notes do we have in the chord of G major? It's quite good. I haven't used this whiteboard forever. Michael kills it with G, B, D. All right, that is exactly right. G, the first, third, and the fifth. All right. So this is pretty easy so far. Let's work out G minor. What was the spelling or the formula for G minor? Do you remember? It was a 1, and what's a minor third? So what's a minor third? Flat third, and a 5. So therefore we know the 1 and the 5 already. So flat third and minor third in the key of G is B flat. And that would be a G minor. It's pretty cool, hey? Now, let's skip forward into the chords. Now you've seen other chords, right? You've seen, I don't know, D sus4, or C add 9, or F sus2. All those numbers are just the numbers from the scale, right? Added into the chord, right? So this is very much like cooking, or like pizza, right? So let's say pizza. We've got the pizza base, we've got the tomato and the cheese. It's a margherita. If I go to the pizza restaurant and they put something else in here to make my pizza taste different, olives or anchovies or something, which I would like, but my son would not like that. He would not like the anchovies on his pizza, so he would be disappointed with his pizza. It's because you, in a G major chord, you must have a G, B and a D. You must. If you have an F in there, it's no longer a G major chord. That would be a G dominant 7, right? If I swapped the B out and I put a C, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I had to have 1, 4, and 5. That would be G suspended 4th. Oh my God. Chord theory. It's awesome. So, let's talk a bit about that other stuff, more extended chords. So I'm assuming we've got this, and you've written this down anyway because you've got a pen and paper, like I asked you to get, right? Okay, so number one. The first thing to remember is tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. All right, my newfound music theory experts. The second thing to remember is that there's no sharp or flat between E and F and B and C. You got like very clever with the emoji there, Kerry. I'm impressed with your emoji game. Okay, let's have a slurp of coffee. So, pick a chord. Somebody pick a chord. Pick a chord in G. Like, I don't know, a random chord with numbers in it and stuff. Just somebody put it in the chat. What do you reckon? What do you reckon? What are we gonna learn how to play? What are we gonna learn how to play? G minor 7 or G7. Let's do both of those. That sounds exciting. Okay, right. StreamYard. I'm in the right thing, yes. So sometimes the comments come up slower in my little streaming platform, so I was just putting a YouTube window open. Okay, so let's do, who got in first? Kerry got in first. Kerry from AJ, who's in MX at the moment. I'm very intrigued by Mexico. I've never been to Mexico. Anyway, one day I'll get there. Okay, so the spelling is what you need. The formula, the recipe, you know, for your, you know, whatever you call this, Boscaola or whatever, all right? So, for a G dominant 7, we need, I'll talk about this in a minute, the dominant bit. We need a 1, a 3, because it's a major chord, a 5, and flat 7 or minor 7, dominant 7. That is the spelling. Well, where's my 5 gone? Oh, there you go. It's just the weird light situation. So, what notes do we have in a G7? We have a 1, a G. We have a 3, a B. We have a 5, a D. And then, so the major 7, I'll talk about the qualities of notes as well in a second. In our major scale, this is called the major 7. It's F sharp. So we need to make it flat. So how do we make the F sharp flat? Now, Viradrama, I feel like this is coming to you, this question. So, F sharp. F sharp, we need to go down from F sharp. 1 semitone. 1 semitone. What do we got? 1 semitone down from F sharp. Anybody? Is the internet sending me the quick questions quick enough? I don't know. Let's find out. I'll give you another 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2.5, 2. Okay, all right. It's an F. Okay. F. Well done, Michael. I love it. Love your work. So, let's see if you can hear this guitar. That's a G. Now we've got a G, a B, a D, a G, a B, and a G. So with these chords, you can have as many of the constituents as you like. G, B, D, G, B, D. So you could have this. Here we've got 3 Gs. We've got 2 Bs. And we've got a D. Right? So it's a bit like going back to my crazy pizza, margarita pizza analogy. You know, whether you go to a sort of chain place or a fancy Italian place and you ask for a margarita, you're going to get pizza, tomato, and cheese, right? Let's just imagine when you go to the fancy place. I know sometimes they put basil on the top. let's just imagine that we don't live in that world. We live in a world where the ingredients are always exactly the same. Okay, so pizza, tomato, cheese. Sometimes you might have loads of tomato and you might have a little bit of cheese or a big thick pizza base or a little thin pizza base. If you have those three things, it's still a margarita pizza. Or that's what they call it over here in Australia. I don't know what they call it. I'm assuming it's called a margarita pizza everywhere. I might be wrong. I don't know. I'm not, so au fait with the worldwide pizza terminology. Okay, so it doesn't matter how much tomato, how much cheese you have, how much pizza you have. If you have those three things, basically in that kind of order, pizza, tomato, cheese, you're going to have a margarita, right? Now suddenly we've added an F. So where's an F? Here's an F. There's an F here. So we could play that would be F7, but way more common one in the open position is that one, right? Here's the F. So we've got G, we've got B, 3, 5, 3, another, 1, another 3, and 7, right? Maybe now. Right? So the Beatles knew about that. So right? And so when you're playing these things all over the place, this blew my mind when I learnt this. Because I'd learnt all these patterns. So you get G, D, F, B, F, G. Oh my God, it's all the things I need to make the thing. G7, G7, G7. All of these things have all of those constituents in them. G, B, D, F. All right, this is wild, isn't it? You didn't think it was going to be this easy, did you? I'm guessing you thought, oh my God, I'm going to have to go to the conservatorium of my city for 17 years in order to be able to learn how to put chords together. No, you can do it in just 22 minutes. Crazy. All right, now, Michael's chord was G minor 7. G minor, let's just put dominant, and you're going to talk about that in a second, dominant 7. So the spelling for that is, you can probably guess this, 1 minor, G minor. Correct, it's a flat third. 5, dominant 7, flat 7. So we need G, B, flat, D, F. Ta-da! Okay? So, that is how that works. All right? So, G minor 7, it's going to be hard to play in the open position, but G, D, F, B flat. Another F there. Or I could just do that. Right? G, B, F, B flat, D, G. G minor 7. All right? So, that is how that works. You can see that it's pretty straightforward. You get it? You get it? You get it? You get it? Okay, cool. All right, now, the last thing I just want to talk about is to demystify 7s, because 7s are a bit tricky. Because when I was learning the guitar at the beginning, people always used to say G dominant 7. But people get confused between G major 7 and G7. And it's pretty easy to see why. Because it says G major 7. So what does the major refer to? Well, in this case, the major refers to the 7. So it's a bit like saying, it's shorthand for saying G major, major 7, right? And this here, G dominant 7, is like G major, dominant 7, all right? So a spelling for G major 7, 1, 3, 5, your G major chord with a major 7. So that would be G, B, D, F sharp. Okay? So this is two major chords. And then we've got G minor dominant 7. So of course, then we can have G minor major 7, which, jazz. James Bond, also James Bond. G minor major 7. 1 minor third, D. Oh, D. Whoops. I meant to write 5. And then 7. All right? My technology's let me down here. So 5, 7. G, B flat, D, F sharp. Right, let's play these chords and hear what they sound like. The smallest guitar in the world. Okay, so G major. Right? G with dominant 7. F, right? G7, all there. Now, for this one, take that off. Minor, major, minor, major. So that was G dominant 7, G7 in our shorthand, G minor 7, but really it's G minor dominant 7. Then we've got G major 7, so we need G. We need D, there's another G there, or we could put it there, right? Oh, hang on, which one we're doing? We're doing G major 7, yeah. Right, G major 7, we could put that in there as well, but it sounds a bit like all together. So we've got a G, we've got a F sharp, we've got a B, we've got a D. So those notes, D, B. Look at me, I'm a da-da-da-da-da. Right? That G major 7 always makes me think of Misty. Mini Maitons may be small, but they sound great. They really do. Maiton is Australian brand, guitar brand. Made in Victoria, somewhere in Victoria. I'm sure Michael's probably even been there, because you're from Victoria, aren't you, Michael? They have a factory. I think you can go and do a tour. I've never been. But this thing is awesome. I've had it for, I don't know, 15 years, something like that. It's done literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of gigs when I used to do lots of acoustic gigs. Box Hill. The tour is very good. Next time in Melbourne, I'm going to go. Okay. So, G major 7. It's beautiful, hey? You can play that all over the place. So here's G. Remember that was G? So we need to add an F sharp. G, B, D, G, B, G major 7, right? It's terrific. Okay, now we promised one more, the James Bondy kind of sounding chord. We need G minor with a major 7. So we need an F sharp in there. So this G minor, major 7. And you'll kind of think, well, when am I ever going to use that chord? You're going to use that chord in loads of songs. Let me think of one. My Funny Valentine, right? Just like show tunes from the 1940s today. My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make my, what's the next chord? Ha, na, na, na. So A minor, major 7, A minor 7, A minor 6, F major 7, D minor 7, B minor 7 flat 5, E7 flat 9. Wow, those guys knew how to write chords. Or where's the note? Still very early here. This is Something by the Beatles. I don't want to leave. What is it? No, where's the chord? You know the bit I'm talking about. I don't want to leave now. Oh, it's in A. Cole Clark guitars are nearby Bayswater. Their tour is fantastic. You can do both tours in a day. I've got to say, I don't love Cole Clark guitars. I know this is not very patriotic of me. Anyway, A minor it goes in Something by the Beatles, and then you get A minor major 7. So he goes, I don't want to leave now. Know what I mean? So you get that A minor 7, A minor major 7, and then to D, and then whatever it is. Bum bum bum. All right. Or even in the when it goes. You're asking me. What is it? You're asking me. I can't remember. I love it. But you know, and then it has same kind of thing. All right. So you will see that chord. In the wild. You know what I mean? So it sounds like a crazy chord, but you'll see it quite often. Well, quite often. Not that often, but you will see it. Okay, so that's pretty clear, right? So now you can kind of make any chord. All you need to do is get a massive sheet of all the chord formulas and learn them. And then you'll know every single chord in every single key. And you'll need to learn the notes on the guitar, where they are, in order to be able to get it. So the takeaways from our lesson today, the things we need to learn are, number 1, tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Number 1. Number 2, no note between E and F. And B and C. That's easy to remember, right? Right? And that helps you put together every single major scale. That's it. That's all you need. Two rules. Oh, and I guess, 3 rules. Chord formula. They usually put an E on the end, don't they? Okay, so now, where do I get a massive sheet of these chord formula, you ask? Well, luckily you should ask. If you go to patreon.com/Simon Morell, oh my God, no steak knives, but I will put a little sheet with all the chords. It's going to look a bit scary, but just learn them. It's easy. Most of the chords have 1 and 5 in them anyway, right? They're going to have 1 because it's going to be C something or G something or F something or E flat something, And then that is it. That is all you need to do in order to be able to learn every single chord or know how to play every single chord on the guitar, whatever its name. Let's just do one more chord. What chords do we have in that? The crazy jazz stuff I was just playing. I've lost my pen. Oh no, I haven't. Something that sounds terrifying. Let's, G7 flat 5. G minor 7 flat 5. Right, jazz. G minor 7 flat 5. Now, if I'd said half an hour ago we're going to learn how to play a G minor 7 with a flat 5, you might have gone, whoa. So G minor is 1 minor. It's got a 5. We're going to talk about that in a second. 7, dominant 7. 5 says G minor 7 flat 5. I've put minus 5. You might see like that. You might see just a flat 5 like that. So what do we do? Oh my God, we make that flat. So the notes in G minor 7 flat 5 are G, B flat, D flat, and F. And that's how you play G minor 7 flat 5. Easy. So easy. Just maths. Well, kind of tiny bit of maths. All right. So thanks very much for watching, everybody. Thanks, Michael and Kerry, for your support over at Patreon. I really do appreciate it. If you have any questions, please just go straight to Patreon and send me a note and I will reply. Have a great day, everyone. I am going to retire to the lounge, catch up on the soccer. I'll see you next time. Let's hope Spurs have beaten Man City. That would be really good. I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Ciao, ciao. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Really appreciate it.